So kitchens from across the world will have four or five things that every kitchen has. So you've got a dishwash section, which is basically where you get the dishes from, and that's where the people wash dishes. That is possibly the most important section in the whole kitchen, because without washed dishes, you can't cook, and without cooking doesn't really matter. Like, you can do without a cook, but without a dishwash, you are screwed. A dishwash can do everything, but a cook can't exactly do everything. My chef once said, if you can't respect your dishwasher, the person who dishwashes, then there is no point in you being here. You give the same amount of respect to your dishwasher as you give to your chef. So the second section in a kitchen is the pass. The pass is basically the place where all the dishes get finished, checked, and sent off to the restaurant, to the tables, kind of. This section tends to be a culmination of all other sections. Basically what that means is that all dishes go towards a pass, or passe, whatever you want to call it. All languages have different ways of saying it. It gets checked that it's finished. If not finished, it's sent back, or gets it gets made. Like, it gets finished off with garnishing or whatever, and then sent off. This is also the person that announces the tickets. The next section, as I was saying, is pastry. Pastry or dessert is basically what it says. It's always where the cold stuff comes from. The cold desserts come from. And generally, that's mostly their job. And that's the least pressure environment during service. Because what do we know about dessert, right? You know that when you're having a dessert, when you're at a restaurant, you order a dessert, you've had food already, so you're not in a new rush to get your last course. It's okay. Whatever time they take it. I have had my food and I am not waiting to be filled. This is a whole different matter when you consider that during the mise en place, which is the prep time, kind of. That's what we call it. Your prep is called your mise en place. So your mise en place is basically the worst time for the pastries, because generally the pastry has a lot of precise things that need to happen in a particular order or a particular way, and that just screws with everything. It really does. It just screws with everything because you're very methodical, but it's so much work in the end that they spend more time on their mise en place. So in most kitchens, the last ones to finish their prep is the pastry. That is generally the case. Not always, but generally. After that, you've got the cold side. And this is for the starters and salads and stuff. I work in a restaurant where we don't really have we have one salad on the menu, but that's about it. But we just have snacks coming from there. It's called the cold side, but you can have warm dishes from there as well, of course, because that's how that works. Because that makes sense, right? Having warm dishes from the cold side, it makes. And then after that, for the main course, you've got the warm side. Generally, most restaurants or cafes or whatever have the warm side divided into two parts. One is for the main course and one is for everything else. That's usually how it works. So the kitchen that I work in right now, we have the cold side, we have the pastry, we have the dishwash, and then we've got the warm side split into two parts, and we've got the passes course. We've got the warm side split into two parts. We've got the grill, because that's where the grill is. Duh. And then we've got the fryer, because that's where the fryer is. I mean, you can't make it any easier than that, right? So that's basically simple. It's nothing out of the way. Whatever.